Welcome back to the Scrum, August 4th. August the 4th be with you. Is that how that goes?
I think something like that.
What a horrible, horrible holiday.
What, the May the 4th?
Yeah. As a Star Wars fan, that's probably the worst thing about Star Wars.
Yeah, any little things like that, it's stupid. It's just
stupid.
not clever.
Well, not only is it not clever,
It's not.
it's
Relax.
like it kind of like when it first happened. What, I don't think that's always been a thing. It came out.
Yeah,
like,
it started off as a meme.
and became popular. Like
Yeah.
what? Like I want to say 2008.
I would say like post 2010, but
I feel
sure,
like I was
whatever.
still in high school, and I
Okay.
graduated 2010.
There you
that's what I'm trying to remember. I feel like it's somewhere in there. It was oh yeah, like
It's just lame.
it's
It's
not
just
good.
lame, and
It's
it just
not
makes
good.
you, man, shut up, you know?
Well, and then it gets overused by people who aren't really about that shit, and that's like, yo, you're claiming the set, and you're not really.
Not to be like, you're not a true fan, but like, shut the
You're-
fuck up.
I'm gonna
you're not a true
gatekeep. I'm
fan.
gonna gatekeep the fuck out of you
For
on that
real.
one. Like, and that's the thing
Especially
about
when you just overuse it.
like gatekeeping
You
is
actually get hype about it.
gatekeeping, like as a phrase and as a thing in itself, is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
But just like anything horrible, with exceptions, it might be applicable.
Sometimes gatekeeping is okay, especially to protect your fandom. I mean, bro, I'll gatekeep Disney. I don't give a fuck.
The best thing about
We
that,
should be
like,
gatekeeping
that's the
Disney.
only thing that's gatekept is fandoms. Like, what else is really
Largely,
gatekept,
yeah,
you know?
most common one.
A community being a fan base or a support group of something, being a brand or like a band,
Yeah,
a brand or a band.
people listen to music, people watch shows,
Teams,
sports teams,
shows.
covers all of it.
I'm a gatekeeper. It just
You're definitely a
depends.
gatekeeper.
But it
It's hard
depends.
not to be sometimes.
depends.
You get passionate.
I try not to gatekeep hockey. You really can't. There's no way to. I guess my point is like, if you're gonna gatekeep it, you have to have a practical reason that you would gatekeep it from someone.
That's fair.
I can't really think of one for hockey in many cases, right? I can't think of any.
Why would you?
Whereas, like, take for something like, nah, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, this is again, like, I'm not gonna fucking sell myself. I'm not like a fucking hardcore like, I'm not like a big like hardcore music guy per se, right? But I feel like that's something that's real appropriate to like gatekeep a poser out of.
Yeah.
Right. So like,
That's fair.
for example,
Almost for their sake, because that's dangerous.
Well, and
if
that's-
you fucking
right.
try to hang with that scene when you're not really about
Right,
it.
and I'm not big in that scene, especially anymore. And to that, I wouldn't try to portray myself in a way that would come off like that. I would hope,
Exactly.
but I would definitely go out of my way to stop a motherfucker who is that I feel like shouldn't. And I feel like that's an applicable thing. Video games, gatekeep your video games. Fine, that's fine.
How do you mean gatekeep your video? Like
Just however you want, because
Okay.
it's not, you know,
just
fuck
like
it.
how you play it, how
Well,
you
just like, I
interpret
guess,
it, how you enjoy
what
it.
would there to be like offended over? It's obviously, again, like there's exceptions to all this stuff. You don't just bigot people, but like what would there to be offended over for someone gatekeeping
That's
you in a
fair.
video
It's-
game?
Okay. I
Like
see what
either
you're
get
saying.
good or like
or fuck off.
or fuck off or like, you know, or like if, like depending on the game, if someone doesn't like the way you play, like that's what you get for playing the way you play. You might not like, you know what I mean? It's just like you can gatekeep.
Well, yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I guess what
At
I'm
a
saying
well,
is
at a
like,
point, that's not gatekeeping as much as it's
Sure
just
it
calling
is.
someone out. I feel like there's a line. There's a line.
yeah.
I feel like starkly gatekeeping is like really the harsher side of it, because like you're closing the gate on a motherfucker. You're like, no.
I guess
you're not
what I'm
allowed.
saying,
You're
like,
not allowed to have an opinion or
little bit of
join in on
bullying,
this.
little bit of gatekeeping. It's okay.
It doesn't hurt.
All
It doesn't
right.
hurt. It doesn't. You receive it. It's. I'm not even gonna say it doesn't build character, man. Like you get like. You gotta learn. You gotta learn how to get shit on.
Builds self-awareness.
Builds self-awareness.
Not so much the bullying, but definitely the gatekeeping makes one realize, oh shit, I've been tripping. I have been seriously bugging on this one particular thing.
And even if you don't come to that realization, it at least still makes you look at yourself.
Well,
you
then
know?
the people who wanted to keep you out
You're an ass.
succeed also. You're out.
Yeah, either way, as long as
win-win.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's gatekeeping is also a troll, and at the end of the day, a good troll means you made someone else waste their time. And I mean, that's my favorite fucking thing in the world, dude. That's
trolling.
oh
Yeah.
oh man, Just
mean,
really,
everyone.
just really,
Everyone. Whether whether
really
they'll
fucking
admit
with
it
someone.
or not, trolling is their thing.
And that's it. Like, you gotta admit it. Like, no one doesn't like fucking with someone, dude.
That's a real troll. They just was so on their shit they won't even come to terms with it, and they fucking still troll. We know those. We know a few of those.
Definitely. What else is going on?
Speaking of trolls, and not staying in your lane, and people who need to be gate kept, he should have been kept from the boarding gate, getting on his plane. Bars.
Say his name.
I honestly dead ass don't know. Maxwell, I remember that. It was because that was the funny part. His name was a Maxwell something, and dude, the kid even like responded on Twitter. I think might have been a troll account.
Well, no, he like posted the picture on Twitter and like.
Did he post? So
yeah, he like posted the picture and was like, "This was like the main thing I saw about it." He goes, "This was the most dehumanizing experience I ever had."
And like grabbing the flight attendant by their boobs wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, so
and like he smacked another person too.
He swung on the male flight attendant. It looked like, from the video, it looked like he swung first.
And they strapped his ass down. And he whines about that.
To tell the whole kind of story in context, this 22-year-old kid is on a plane, and I believe the guy had like 2 drinks, 2 beers maybe, but 2 drinks.
Sure.
But it gets drunk off that. He's gone at that point, and has a little spill with the 3rd drink. Spills it on his shirt. Goes to the restroom, comes back shirtless. Flight attendant helps him get a shirt out of his carry-on, and that's when he gropes. He says, "Thanks for the shirt, honk honk," and then
it's fucked.
Yeah, and then so obviously they go, "Yo, you can't do that."
Yeah.
And whatever happens there, and then cut to the video of where the video starts is him just screaming at everyone belligerently, talking about how much his parents are worth, bro. Saying my parents are worth $2 million, this, that, and the third. And then he goes on, he's about to say something about like my grandpa is worth more. Whatever, right? Everyone's laughing. Everyone's just clowning the guy. They're like,
sure.
No one's like taking this dude seriously or really even see him as like a serious threat other than just like he's a belligerent asshole. And then it looks like they try to calm him down, but talking to him, and then someone comes over, and then the guy ends up swinging on somebody, and they start restraining him. Cut to the best part of the whole thing, and certainly what made it go over the edge of the viral. They duct tape this motherfucker to the chair, and they even duct tape his head and mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking beautiful. Beautiful. And
restrain his ass.
Restrain his ass.
Like, be happy that's the worst that happened.
But like,
right?
What else is supposed to happen? Like, even if this guy didn't really do anything wrong, what else are you supposed to do with someone who's acting a fool on a plane?
Exactly.
You guys are in a metal tube.
They don't have a brig.
250 miles an hour in the air. If anyone starts
probably wasn't
getting out of
air
pocket,
marshals.
Well, I'll get to that in a second. If anyone, not that I know shit, but like, if anyone gets out of pocket, you have it. You have the whole. It becomes the responsibility of everyone on that plane to collectively decide what happens to that motherfucker, and whatever they collectively decide is fine. That's their government up there.
You are
flying in a tube.
Defying gravity. Trusting everyone, trusting the pilot.
Just
pilots trust you.
It cool.
I agree.
And as soon as one person,
it's all about survival in a fucking airplane.
Exactly, bro.
Dude starts acting like that.
It's not like a bus.
There's limited oxygen.
All that. So like, if someone starts really going crazy, and that could just be drunken yelling, that's enough to make anybody fucking uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you need to. You can do whatever you need to. That's not our business. The staff it got suspended for taping the motherfucker to the chair. And so like that's the whole thing is, because of the video and because of I don't think this guy complaining, I'm sure some people were like, hey, that was probably a bit excessive even though they're just wrong.
Right.
That was enough for the airline to feel like they needed to suspend the crew for not following complete proper protocol.
Well,
but
then
I'm
what
pretty
is
sure
the protocol?
Well, I believe there is some allowable process of that kind of detainment because they're on a fucking plane, right? Another aspect of it that people were asking about and criticizing was the lack of air marshal stepping in,
which is
that's your question, right?
Like,
so, and I heard or saw a few people
like
explain
that
it
too.
quite simply. This was my first thought too. The reason why an air marshal doesn't react to anything, because some shit just like that would be the ideal distraction for some other shit.
That is, yeah.
So
that's true. They got bigger fish to fry.
They got way bigger fish to fry. They are actually so glad that happened, because that's just something they now have a story to tell. That air marshal is just sitting there with the chrome tucked,
looking normal as shit.
Looking like
he's going to a business conference
he
in
probably
Toledo.
pulled his phone out, because everyone had their phones out, like filming the guy. He's probably clowning him too. He just
sending some guy, screen this guy, scan his face. What's he up to?
Yeah. Oh, he is just drunk. His parents are okay. His parents are.
All right, cool. I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah. All right, I'm chilling then. I'm gonna go back to sleep. That's what he or she was doing as the air marshal.
That makes all the sense.
Because they're like, oh, there's supposed to be one on every flight. Maybe there wasn't. I don't fucking know. But if there was, I would like to believe that they got bigger fish to fry. They was like, oh, this guy, a 22-year-old white boy on the plane with some alcohol in his system, it's just,
yeah,
it's not a problem.
Yeah, they can't worry
it's
about.
Not a problem.
They can't put their resources towards that.
Not an air marshal.
Not an air marshal. Because also
not an air marshal.
Staff handled it fine. They handled it fine.
They
handled it the right way.
To the chair.
They took care of the issue. And
again, that's just exactly what you'd expect.
And everyone else enjoyed their flight.
Any other situation, take the airplane out of it, but you are talking right. Take
well, then you can actually call the cops.
There's other context I'm going to add.
Okay.
Take the airplane out of it, but you are in a situation where everyone is stuck together.
Mm-hmm.
The same outcome's going to happen.
The same
desert island
reaction.
Trapped in a room. Look at anything you've ever seen, any book you've ever read about some shit like this.
Yep.
As soon as one person gets out of the norms of everyone in that little tiny community, look at The Walking Dead, man.
Walking Dead.
They put motherfuckers
Village.
Prisoner. The Village. That's probably the best example of this. Yeah. You got to stay.
You break that barrier, you're fucked.
And the thing about and why this is so relevant, because we're talking about something I feel like that doesn't get discussed about airplane travel, and in general, it's just you step into a social setting. You have now signed the unwritten contract of all the social norms of that setting.
Mm-hmm.
Includes,
you can
not sexual
anywhere,
harassment and not tripping, you screaming at people about how valuable your family is,
and making everyone else uncomfortable,
and making everyone else uncomfortable and scared. You're gonna get duct taped to a chair.
You're exactly, and that's all that happened. You got duct taped to a chair. He's 22. He'll be okay.
Oh, he'll be just fine.
His parents are worth millions of dollars, guys.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. He's gonna be fine. That pays for emotional trauma, right? That works. I don't know.
It's above my pay grade. Fuck him. Wasn't Maxwell?
That's why I don't fly.
That's why I don't drink their coffee.
The coffee?
Maxwell coffee. Fuck it. It's gonna be
maybe that's what fucking. That's why he's so wealthy.
That was his last name.
Maxwell.
The heir to Maxwell. Heir to the Maxwell estate.
That's pretty good. I hope that's the case.
Also with the Folgers every weekend.
Wasn't there some other shit that happened? Oh, around here in the North Carolina area, apparently we are. And I don't know if this is happening in other states, but North Carolina is paying unvaccinated citizens, $100 in a rebate bonus of some kind to get the vaccine. I mean, it's just another low in all of this, where, obviously, I feel like there's more people, okay, the vaccine comes out, and all of a sudden you find all these anti-vaxxers coming out of the closet, right? But it seems like that there's a good number of those same people who got all their kids vaccinated, just being like, that's just what you do. And obviously there's anti-vaxxers in that camp, but that's just what people do, is get their kids vaccinated. No one's paying for that. No one's paying you to do that. You're doing that. Again, it's just another low in society where you have to financially incentivize people to do the bare minimum of human due diligence and not spreading the pandemic.
Yeah, and being part of a society. That's the key word. Not to be all.
But this is my main story RPG I'm living right now. This is actually not a society. This is not a collaborative.
That's
effort.
true.
I'm in my own world.
That's how most people. Let's be honest. That's how most people think. That's how every anti-vaxxer probably thinks. That's probably how they think.
They think that they're the hero in some story where people who push out vaccines are like the bad
Exactly.
guy.
Exactly.
They're that delusional.
Like they're in this echo chamber that they somehow just don't hear all the other people before and after them saying the same shit. But the fucked up thing too about this is that there's probably still going to be people that aren't going to do it.
True.
So it's like, well, then what next step are they going to take if they're going to take?
If they're
one?
willing to
and
pay
how far
people?
how far are we going to go with that tactic? I don't know.
Where like no for sure, like we're in the worst case scenario, they just like segregate all the vaccinated and unvaccinated people, but are giving to the unvaccinated people where resources are allocated to them because they have to be kept alive, or they have to get shit to live off of, but they can't be anywhere near the people who are vaxxed because they're unvaxxed. Yeah, it'd be, but then those same resources that would go to people who are vaccinated would lose them. Crazy. It's crazy that that's a divide.
It's crazy that that's a divide. It's crazy that people
I got
can't
both
agree.
Pfizer shots. My insides have not melted.
Exactly. I'm
Like,
doing okay.
I had
I'm
a
doing
couple
all
people
right.
ask me, a couple of people that like otherwise like I would never bring this stuff up. They were like, "Are you like, you ever like wonder like what might happen later?" And I go, "No."
Because I pretty damn sure I'm not going to get the C word.
But the whole thing is like, even if, man, like that's just not in my control anyway. Like you gotta accept not your mortality so much as you just gotta accept that someone else has dealt your hand. Like
It's also like you're gonna
like your fate's not laid out, but like, dude, like what's gonna happen to you is gonna fucking happen to you.
It's like, are you just gonna like you just tiptoe through every single one of these little, really just at the end of the day, little decisions. It's a little decision. It's a big consequence. It's a little decision.
Right.
Man. It's a little.
Like I feel you.
Fucking shot,
like
bro.
I feel you. Like I don't ride roller coasters. You see, I feel you. Like that is probably somewhat of an irrational fear.
Yeah.
But come on.
I mean, more people have probably died on. I'm not going to sit here and just say
check
I
this
know
out.
stats.
Check
but
this out. I can tell you one thing. No one's died because someone else just chose to ride a roller coaster. But by not choosing to get vaccinated, you are putting other people
Exactly.
at risk. And, that's obviously
You're putting someone else on the roller coaster. It's no like, hey, let's both stay off.
who
It's
doesn't
like,
want to go.
Well, I'm not
That's
getting on, so this person.
Exactly. Someone's got to sit here. It ain't gonna be me though. That's bullshit.
Yes, in the most dangerous spot.
A lot of people have been decapitated where you sit right now.
Lift your arms up on this bend right here.
That's what you're doing to people by not getting the vaccine. You're putting them on roller coasters they don't want to ride.
100%. That's great.
That's good.
That's a great
really
analogy.
good, dude. Yeah. Someone write that down, dude. Someone record this.
Putting someone on a
Like
roller
you don't have
coaster,
any way to like.
don't want to ride.
We should start a podcast YouTube channel. Oh yeah, and then also too, if you're someone who did get vaxxed and now you're kind of like, hey, well, where's my money? I want to.
Fuck
like,
you.
Like fuck you.
Fuck off.
Fuck you. You never wanted to get in the first place. Then, and obviously some people are probably just being jovial, but like if you are like putting up a fuss,
Like
Fuck you.
genuinely,
fuck you.
you're an ass.
You're just an ass.
Stimmy wasn't enough, bro.
Well, and there's other ways that like you might need or deserve some income, which I'm not going to sit here and debate that because I can't tell what other people what they need.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what you had to do. That was your duty. I mean, come on. At some point, we can
100%.
chalk it up to you go get the fucking vax because it's you get to live here. People say this place sucks,
Duty.
and it
to
sucks.
Society.
Things suck. The government sucks. We can agree on all this. You still do get to exist. Like some people don't. Some people don't have any choices. Some people in the past never had choices. So with all the choices you do get, if someone tells you to get this fucking vaccine, it's probably just a humble thing to do almost.
It's a humble thing to do.
I don't know.
Fuck the science. Fuck the responsibility. It's a humble thing to do. It's an empowering thing to do.
We're talking about the airplane, and again, going back to that, right? Like the needs of the many. The needs of the many were way more important than the needs of the few there. So what they do, they tied that motherfucker to the chair because it was not about his whiny ass and what that was going to do to him. It was going to be about everyone here feeling better about what this crazy motherfucker was about to pull off. You duct tape his ass to the chair. Some of you need to get fucking duct taped to the chair.
That's
get the
America,
vax.
man. It's just one big airplane.
We're all
one big
all
airplane.
in one big airplane flying 250 miles an hour through the air. At any point, the pilot could be drunk. He was for 4 years. So what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? And now, and not that I'm any one way or the other on that shit. The other one's fucking What are you talking about? The hair on his arms or whatever?
I love
Fucking
that bit.
weirdo.
I love that bit. Everyone, you know what we're talking
That's
about.
that's like one of the weirdest things
Like
anyone's ever said
his
out
hairy
loud.
legs.
Not
Like
that obviously,
to see
you know.
the hair curl back up after they run their finger.
The fuck are we talking
Come
about?
on, man.
The fuck is going on?
This is one big airplane. One big airplane where we're putting people on roller coasters they don't want to be on.
That ass.
Killing it with analogies.
Oh, now an airplane with a roller coaster on it. We need to get that in the air.
That would be huge.
How do you handle?
It
all
would
that
literally
weight?
be huge.
How do you handle all that weight?
I don't know, man. I think we're ways away from that engineering.
I mean, architects.
I mean, you could
there's
put
an
a-
architect working on it.
That's true.
There's some sort of
Probably
asshole designing that right now.
you'd have to have some sort of like gyroscopic thing in the fuselage, probably. I don't know.
The
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. You just get DP'd.
That's all it is. That's out South Park.
Not much else going on. Hockey's pretty anticlimactic. There's a lot of talks about some other trades and things like that potentially happening. Some Canes rumors. None of it sounds good. There's stuff like people were saying shit about like
Seems to be the
Turbo
theme.
possibly being traded. Svetch hasn't been signed yet. So, and now the current talk is, you know, is this how much better is this new duo in Anderson and Ranta going to be than Mrazek and Ned?
Mm-hmm.
My opinion is, without really, you know, comparing the stats so much, Ranta's had some really good stats over his like 120 something games. He's had a 9.1 save percentage, almost like a 9.2 save percentage over his whole career, which isn't the longest games played wise, but like still consistent.
Yeah.
But that's not been something the Hurricanes have lacked. We've always been able to pick up these consistent, decent goalies. So, you know, we had a 1A, 1B before. Now we have 2A and 2B. Like,
yeah.
It's there's no ranking here. They're all just the same usable pair of goalies.
Exactly.
And with that in mind, not putting us at any advantage in the rankings, the power rankings, if you will, stacking up against other teams.
It was a pretty goalie wise. It was a pretty lateral transaction.
What you're losing with one, you gain with the other, and what you lost with the other, you gain with. It's you know, it's only so. I don't know, and that's where the schedule is just gonna have to play itself out. And we'll see how they both do. See if Anderson stays healthy, and then with that, if Ranta does get the net, if he stays consistent. So I don't know, but lackluster nonetheless. I don't know.
When does the preseason start up, or even the regular?
I think it's all scheduled to start normal time. So
Okay.
preseason will be mid-September with the regular season, I think, kicking up in October like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Usually the Canes' first game is like the 6th or 5th of October.
Yeah. Usually
So.
first puck drops around then.
Bet.
Did we do it?
Yeah, I think we did it.
We did.
We did it.
Squirrel.
Yo.
Where can they get at us if they'd like to talk more analogies?
If you'd like to give us your best analogies, hit us up at Talkin Sauce Pod.
My parents are worth $2 million.
No underscore. Respect that there underscore right there.
I've had half a beer.
We got the Scrum. That's what you're watching right now. Every Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, and then the podcast every Monday. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify. Anywhere you get your podcasts. Twitter sometimes. Maybe not. Again, at Talkin Sauce Pod. No underscore. Respect the underscore. You can find Jay Cobb at Jay Cobb. COBBB. Does he have numbers at the end of his?
Who cares?
Who cares? You
77?
can find Josh.
77.
77?
77?
Tim Gleason. Josh.
Not Gleason's number, you idiot.
Whose is it?
Don't worry
Because
about
I
it.
thought Gleason was his favorite player. That's why I always used it.
Gleason wore 6.
Did he wear 6? Who's 77?
Well, Brett Hedican also wore 6, but I thought Gleason wore 6. Or Gleason wore 8. I can't remember. Irrelevant.
We'll
Just
find
like
out.
Jacob. You give me a Teeb, Cabzz.
Dylan, you can find me on Reddit at UTBagsYMum 69420 lowercase x capital X. That's UTBagsYMum 69420 lowercase x capital X.